Super Mario Bros. The movie was a disaster.
Microsoft HoloLens is a disaster.
M. Night Shyamalan is a disaster.
All that and more in this week's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of the Nerdy Things podcast. I am Kevin. I am joined, as always, by Jules. Hey, Jules.
Heyo.
And by Tim. Hey, Tim, how are you?
Oh, Ducky.
Ah, great. Great.
This was the hardest episode so far to get started, but we're here. We did it.
First of all, it's noon. It's not morning. I didn't roll out of my bed right into the studio. That never works out well. We had computer problems, sneezing fits.
I spilled water everywhere.
Jules was drowning in a cup of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a promising beginning to what's promising to be a very interesting episode.
Oh, heck yeah. I had to go
Why
to
you
three
listen.
Staples this morning just to get a chair to sit on.
Really? What happened? You said you were going to rob Staples. How did that go?
It went poorly. I actually liked the guy and wound up getting the protection program, which I should
damn.
never do.
He conned you.
He did.
Got you.
He did. I looked him right in the eye. I said, I pulled this same scam at work and then bought it. So it was
You're
pretty
good. I like your
Yeah.
style.
Oh, I know.
I like what you're
But,
doing.
yeah, I mean, what a nerdy week. Lots of nerdy news this week. I'm very happy with it.
So many things. First off, if you want to follow us and get to see all the cool articles that we're going to talk about and all the cool stuff that we talk about in the nerdy news section, you can do that at Nerdy Things Pod, at Nerdy Things Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we have nerdythingspod.com where it's like just what's on nerdythingspod.com, Kevin?
Well, it's growing, but right now I post any nerdy news things that I can find. Trailers, things like that. I go to, they're basically just links to the other websites that have everything. Eventually, we do hope to do blog posts. I will be making the video section more robust. I'm going to be posting more links to our podcast and just kind of make it one place where everybody can go to get their nerdy weekly news.
Yeah, very cool. And then we gave, we made the mistake of giving Tim the password to the Instagram, so he's doing whatever he wants to do on there, and it's a whole thing. So go ahead and follow us on all of our social media is different at Nerdy Things Pod, and yeah, you can be in the know with all of us. And if you like us, go ahead and leave a review, and you'll be read on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Reviews on iTunes is where we get. A lot more people to find us. It's really easier for people to find us if we have some reviews and stuff.
That's
And I
exactly
have
it.
one.
And if you don't like us, also leave us a review, and we will also call you out publicly on the podcast.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll do that. We got all 5 stars so far. So if you want to be that first, one for a 1 or 2 star, go ahead and we'll shit on you. Here's one from Tyson Davis. I don't know if I don't remember which one I read last time, but I'm pretty sure I did it. It said, Nerdy Nation tuned into the episode about Will Ferrell and loved it. Great work. And that was one of our earlier episodes. And yeah, cool.
That was great work. I agree with you, sir. That was great work.
Obviously a connoisseur.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's talking
knows
about,
his
that
stuff.
guy. Right.
You ready to
on.
get into it?
Yeah. Nerdy news.
At 6 o'clock. So, nerdy news. What the hell happened this week? I feel like we got inundated with just some awesome stuff.
I don't even know where to start.
Right.
I know.
Well, let's get this shit out of the way. Let's get the crappy one out of the way. The Scorpio, Microsoft, whatever. They released the Project Scorpio dev kits. I mean, I'm just going to rush through this because I'm pretty sure y'all don't really care. I don't really care either. But Project Scorpio dev kits, they released them. And on there, where you can see at all times, there's an FPS counter, frames per second. It's going to tell you when you go under 60 frames, when you're, underperforming or whatever. For some reason, there's speculation that it might be on the actual console whenever it releases. We don't know yet, but it's in the dev kit right now, and they don't usually change a whole lot from the dev kit to the actual thing. It looks like a smaller Xbox One. They're really pushing this Microsoft mixed reality where you can do VR and sort of interact with it's VR plus interacting with things in real life. So it's like a mixed reality sort of thing. And they're really pushing. Yeah, there was a question about that later on in the podcast, but I don't know if we're going to get to it. But they're really pushing hard for E3, and they're really going to say, hey, all this stuff's going to be there, and you really got to get your hands on it. You got to see it. You got to do all this stuff, even though only they did a study or whatever, and only about 10% of the common people know what Scorpio is.
Yeah,
So,
and I
or
am
have
not
heard
in
of
that
it.
10%.
Even gamers, there's a higher interest in buying the Switch than buying, well, PS4 at this point. That makes sense because it's been out for 5 years and a lot of people have it. But there's more people interested in buying the Switch in the gaming community than there is Project Scorpio. And that might be because while Project Scorpio's over there counting its FPS, Nintendo's doing a direct today about actual games.
Right.
They're going to talk about ARMS, and they're going to talk about Splatoon 2. There might be another surprise, but I would be surprised if there was a surprise because we're only...
I think that's how it's defined.
Right? No, I would be surprised if there is a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole thing...
The thing is, E3's in a few weeks, so I don't think they're going to do anything
Yeah.
mind-blowing. They've already... We know when ARMS is coming out. It's coming out when E3 is happening, pretty much. So they're going to go through that today, but I don't think there's going to be anything else big. But point is, Nintendo's out there talking about games, where Scorpio's out there talking about, well, let's see if we go less than 60 frames per second at our 4K resolution. And the whole obsession with FPS is beyond me anyways. Just play the game and
just want it to look good. I don't care about the technical side of it. I just want it to look good. I want it to be easy to interact with, so stop making the menu that was perfect. And I want it to just be a good game, you know? I mean, I've said before, that's what Nintendo has going for them, is they focus on the games, and they focus on playing the games and not necessarily on the hardware or the graphics. And I think that's fucking fantastic.
But then some people really care about the frames per second, and then I tell them to just build a computer.
Right.
And who cares?
Exactly.
Why are you going for a console? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
build a computer for about the same price, maybe even less if you build it right, and then you're going to get the same output. And you can probably hold a controller with it. Controller compatible games. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care. We'll see what goes down with that.
Oh, boy.
Next one.
Next one. Looks like we got Robert Zemeckis, Sam Raimi, and Matt Vaughn rumored to be in the running for directing The Flash.
Oh, yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
I mean,
feel good
they're
about
all
one of
really
them.
great. They're all pretty good. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely noticeable differences between all three, but I think I'm okay with any one of those. Do y'all have a preference?
Robert Zemeckis.
You know what? I do, and I know Tim is Robert Zemeckis. He didn't even have to say that.
Yeah.
Because Tim is really big Robert Zemeckis fan for some reason. If you
Back
could
to
get
the
Robert Zemeckis
Future.
and Danny
Oh, boy.
Elfman together, I
Yeah?
swear to God, Tim would never come to work again. He'd just sit at home and Google that all day. I actually think Matt Vaughn would be the better choice for this. You know, like Robert Zemeckis, I like Robert Zemeckis, but I really just think that, like, what's he done recently? What's he done that was good recently? Because the last things I'm seeing here are Beowulf, Polar Express, Christmas
Polar
Carol.
Express.
I mean, yeah, okay, if I want nightmares, I'm going to watch Polar Express. I can't. I mean, none of what he's directed is really worth it.
Well, they got him into this whole thing. You're looking at 2004 through 2009, where he was supposed to be this pioneer in this 3D technology.
Yeah.
When unfortunately the technology wasn't there yet, and meanwhile, James Cameron was really doing it. You know, and then Avatar came out, which we talked about last couple weeks. But if you look about when the guy actually focuses on movies, Back to the Future series is an iconic movie series.
No, it is, and I'm not taking anything away from
He
that.
directed Forrest Gump, Contact, so he's in the sci-fi genre with a good movie. Castaway, Oscar-winning movie. When the guy focuses on the movies, he makes exceptional movies.
Sure.
So get him back in that vein, get him back on that track, and I think he'll deliver, because that's what he does.
I just don't see him being a good... You know what? Here's the thing, though. I hate DC movies, so take him, by all means. He's only going to help them. Even if he makes the worst movie he's ever made, it would be a better movie than anything that DC has put out recently.
There you go.
Fair
But
enough.
if they want to turn this around, I think Matthew Vaughn has it over Sam Raimi or Robert Zemeckis every day. Because Sam Raimi is just going to make a Bruce Campbell tinted superhero spoof movie that is an actual superhero movie somehow. And they're going to definitely have weird and wacky stuff that you just don't need. Look at what he did to Spider-Man. Yeah. I don't need that. Matthew Vaughn has been amazing recently, and I think that he needs to be rewarded for that.
Yeah, he's on a hot streak, no question about it.
I think I need a 5-minute dancing sequence from Ezra Miller as the Flash per Spider-Man 3, you know? I think I need that in my life, right?
No, definitely not. No, I don't need an emo Flash. You know, there's already enough Flashes in the TV show.
And DC's already pretty emo, so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not behind that. I think Matt Vaughn takes it for me. Vaughn. What about you, Jules? What are you thinking?
Well, he's Sam Raimi. We know this.
Yeah, definitely. Spider-Man's my. We all know Spider-Man's my thing. That's the.
Tobey Maguire's your Spider-Man, so that I don't know why Sam Raimi's your director.
Why does this keep coming up? Why does Spider-Man, the very first trilogy or whatever, keep coming up in these podcasts? It's really weird. I don't know. Either one. Yeah, Vaughn or Zemeckis is pretty good. I just want it to be good. I don't know. I just want something not so dark. Yeah, which everyone's not going to get me super dark.
It's not going to be good, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Like, I'm going to go see Wonder Woman when it comes out in a couple of weeks. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I'm prepared to like it, but I know I'm going to be disappointed.
So yeah, tell us your thoughts. If which one you would like and which one you prefer and why on the Nerdy Things stuff. Nerdy Things pod, whatever. There was a funny article. It's not really news. I mean, I guess it's news, but that I saw because it was pretty close to where I live, Austin, Texas. There was in the article they called him a hero. He sues his Tinder date because she was texting during Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So I guess the basis of it, she kept checking her phone during the movie, and she kept texting within like a very short span of time. I think he even like wrote it out like 17 times or whatever in so many minutes. And then she left, and she got a ride or something, and she left him without having a ride home. So he's suing her for the ticket, I think, and the Lyft or Uber price. Yeah. And it's just really funny. I don't know. And he was saying like all this stuff that she ruined his experience and everybody else's experience.
Now, here's the thing.
The principle.
Because this is definitely something I would do.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking that.
I am also going to come out and say that this guy is a dick and that he should not be doing this. Listen, buddy, I hope you're listening. You have dodged a bullet. Be thankful and go home. That is it. That's all you need to do. You if you had started dating this girl, I don't care how smoking hot she is. If you found her on Tinder and wanted to take her to Guardians, which is that's a special thing for me.
It's a special bond.
You dodged a bullet. Move on. There are other fish in the sea, and I don't know. I haven't seen this guy. Maybe they won't date him, but there are still other fish.
You don't need this.
Listen,
man.
I have a whole thing on how litigious our society is. I don't even want to get into that. So the whole lawsuit thing, I'm not going to touch it. I applaud him for standing up for texting in the movie.
Totally.
Hate that. There's nothing worse than just looking down 15 rows in front of me and seeing someone with their phone out. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, with their face lit up. And it's
almost
like,
want to destroy them, like from Earth. But the real question in this whole thing, did he sit in the front seat of the Lyft or Uber?
That's the...
Well, how
because
tall is
that
he?
will sway me
one
way or another as to whether I support him or not. If he sat in the back seat, I am behind him. If that guy got in that Lyft or Uber, sat in the front seat, and he wants that chick to pay for it, no, he should be paying for it because he messed up.
So if you're behind him, are you in the trunk, or would he have to sit in the front seat for you to be behind him?
Dude, I'm hanging from the bumper on my skateboard, Marty McFly style.
Oh my God! Did you ever play Skitchin' on Sega? That was one of my favorite games. Skatin', hitchin', bitchin' was their tagline. And you basically just roller skate around, holding onto cars, picking up weapons off the road, and hitting other skaters.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
That's sick, man. That's so 80s right there.
It definitely is.
You can't do that now. Why? Because you get sued. Because we're in a litigious society.
Exactly.
Back in the 80s, one of the great decades of this world.
The skaters scuffed my bumper. Ugh.
Right? Ugh. Anyways.
All right.
Anyways.
So
what else we got, boys?
I was just going to go down the list.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can do that. So Rick and Morty Alien teaser. If you haven't seen it, it's super funny. It's like a minute long, and I really like Rick and Morty. I don't know. If they just keep releasing stuff with Rick and Morty doing random things. I mean, they did a whole opening for The Simpsons one time. You can check that out as well.
I saw that. That was pretty neat. I love Rick and Morty. I cannot wait for season
totally
3
cool.
to really get going of Rick and Morty.
Tim, we should have a Rick and Morty episode where Tim watches like the first season or whatever.
We're going to do that. We're going to make Tim watch at least a couple of episodes of the first season. If he doesn't want to watch the whole thing, I'll cherry pick some for him.
I'll watch it.
Awesome. But yeah, I think
funny.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, just go check out that teaser. That's something that released as well this week.
Yeah. And then one of the other teasers. There were a ton of trailers, but one of the other ones was the Battle of the Sexes trailer with Steve Carell and Emma Stone, who I love both of them. I really do. They're both on my list of acceptable cheats. If I ever meet them in person, I'm allowed to sleep with either one of them, and my wife can't.
Is that
get
on
mad.
your wife's list too?
They're on your list.
Yeah.
Are they? Is it laminated?
It is laminated. Yeah. They're the top 10. I'm allowed, as long as I have a top 10, I'm allowed to sleep with them, and my wife won't get mad. But they have to be better than her at video games, so I'll have to test them first.
Oh, huh. How?
Okay.
Cool. I mean, we just learned a lot about
Jenny
Kevin right
terrible
there.
at video games, or what's going on?
No, she's actually really good, but that's her requirement. They have to have better shoes and be better at video games than her, and then I'm allowed to cheat, and it's not cheating.
Well, considering both of those people have gazillions of dollars, the shoes, and this is no knock on your wife's shoes. I'm sure the shoes are better.
Yeah.
So that's fine. The video game question, that's an interesting
Right.
one.
We'll play first, and then maybe we'll play.
Yeah, when we have them on the episode someday and interview them, we'll talk about
definitely.
Facebook Live event coming soon.
But yeah, it was a neat little trailer. That was I'm not a big fan of tennis, but I want to see this movie.
Did y'all
I saw the article and I saw the headline and I saw the picture, and I was really confused because I didn't really understand what the headline was talking about, was it a movie or not, and I just saw the two of them and I thought it was like a real life promotional of some sort. I was like, what happened to Emma Stone? And then I was like, oh, she's Billie Jean King. Okay, I get it.
Yep.
So yeah, whatever. Cool, I like it. I'm into it. Those two people are in it. I'm into it.
Yeah. Did you read anybody who was directing it or anything, or was there? I didn't see a whole lot of information about it. Just the trailer.
No, I don't care.
Okay,
I'm into
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't need much more than that. Like I did.
Yeah,
I
the
watched the
extraneous
trailer.
details don't matter.
This is the thing. This is why I stop watching trailers for movies I know I'm already going to watch. I don't want to ruin it. This is, not that anything's going to get ruined in this. This is based on real events. But by that same token, I'm not going to really pay attention to anything else. I'm going to see it maybe in the theater, but definitely when it comes out on demand or anything like that.
Yeah, Netflix, whatever. So this is interesting. The Metal Gear Solid is a gaming franchise, and it's huge, and they've made a ton of them, and they're super long and super story-driven, whatever, and they're going to make a movie about it, and the director forced the screenwriters to play the video games first. I don't know why. I mean, that should be a given, that you're going to play the games.
You're right.
Why are they making like a big deal like, oh, he's making them play the... Yeah, duh. You got to get the feel for the whole thing. Why wouldn't you?
No, it's sad. This shouldn't be news. But it is news. Like, this is not something that happens. This is like people that write superhero movies who've never read the comics or have never read any of the novelizations or, things like that. And we see that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a video game movie, so it's still most likely going to be stupid. But, kudos to him for making the people be familiar with the source material.
Yeah. You don't like the Metal Gear gaming series? Or have you played it, the Metal Gear gaming series, or anything?
Yeah, I've played a couple back in the day. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's a video game movie. They're just 99% terrible. So
yeah, you're not wrong. Even Dwayne the Rock Johnson couldn't save Doom.
Right.
But that was not a.
No. I mean, you know what though? That movie had one of my favorite scenes in any video game movie. In Doom, there is a scene where I think Carl Urban was the protagonist of that, if I'm not mistaken. But there was a scene where all of a sudden it goes into first person mode and it's like you're playing Doom.
Oh yeah.
I just loved that. I thought that was the best use of that. That was the best, like, you're in a video game movie thing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool.
You can see the gun and all that. It was pretty cool.
I mean, the best video game movie of all time is clearly the Super Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. I mean, there's no question about that. Insert sarcasm here, but
or sad trombone or something.
Yeah, something. I mean, that movie has always befuddled me because Bob Hoskins is one of my all-time favorite character actors. I mean, that guy's just always good, and I love John Leguizamo. How do they get those two guys to be in that movie? And what was it? Who plays King Koopa or whatever he is?
Oh boy,
I can't think of his name, but I know exactly. I'm picturing him.
But he is also an award-winning actor. So they get these three people to agree to be in this thing, and that's the premise. They read that script and go, "Oh yeah, I want to make this."
Yeah, I don't know, but that's the thing is the people who wrote that script definitely did not play any of these video games. I'm sure none of them even spoke English, judging by half of what went on in there. But it was
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, it was Dennis Hopper. I could hear your loud clicking as you were Googling that.
Oh, I type extra loud now because Kevin told me not to.
Yeah, I've been editing Tim's keyboard clicks out of the podcast as best I can. And I mentioned something about it the other night, and he went out and bought an extra loud keyboard.
Yep, it's on extra loud mode now. So
now you can go donate to the GoFundMe to get Tim a quieter keyboard.
Yeah, he'd just throw it out.
Yeah, go do that.
Dude, that movie had 2 directors.
Oh boy!
It took 2 directors to make that thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is just pathetic.
That might be a too many cooks in the kitchen scenario right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's case in point. Perfect example of why superhero movies are terrible.
Yep.
They got great actors, and Nintendo's really usually very protective about their intellectual property. They don't want it to be bastardized, and that's what they come up with. So yeah, no, I don't have much faith for Metal Gear Solid, but I give props to the director for wanting to be true to the source material. One of the few things that ever pissed me off about the Harry Potter franchise was when Michael Gambon said that he didn't read the books because he was acting out the script. And the books weren't relevant to him. And that was why there are specific scenes in that series that I can point out and go, no, dude, you acted that wrong. I'm sorry. I'm all for actors having creative liberty, but that is wrong. Dumbledore never would have done that. And that's because
he
wasn't faithful to the source material.
Yeah.
You put your name in the
that's like
fire.
Case in point number 1, Dumbledore would never do that. And it was written in the book totally different, specifically different.
Super chill.
So... Exactly. Like, that just goes against his personal character. So, yeah, anytime anybody wants to try and do what they can to be true to the source material, I applaud it. However, it is in vain because it's a video game movie and it's going to be bad.
No, and I think that's a lot of the problem is that they're trying to force these video games into being a movie. And I think that if they looked at it differently, if they took the Marvel approach to it and they said, okay, we want to make a good movie that is based on this property rather than we want to make this property into a movie. And that subtle shift in how you're viewing it would be a great approach to it. Because I think that Metal Gear Solid especially could make a phenomenal world. And you could even build that into like this shared universe thing where you've got movies that are about, Solid Snake and Liquid Snake and Revolver Ocelot. And you can do prequels and you can do far future. Like this could be spectacular, but they have to approach it correctly. Because if they don't, then you're going to get that half-assed type of thing. And that, like, if there's a story, tell it. But if there isn't, I don't care. This week, Jules posted to the Nerdy Things Pod Facebook about the Purge TV show that they're working on. And that is supposed to take place the other 364 days of the year.
Yep.
And I
posted that.
Did you? Okay, Tim posted it.
Yeah.
Did you?
I
did you, though?
don't
I thought I did.
care. Like, what? I'll probably watch an episode just to make sure I don't care. But what are they going to do 364 days of the year that is entertaining when the whole premise of this world is that one day?
Yeah. So, I posed that question last night. I was hanging out with Alex. He was a previous guest on the podcast, and what he said was, if you did know that this purge day was going to happen, and you were in like office or something, what kind of precautions and what kind of bills and laws would you pass to, change that sort of purge day. So it could be interesting if they did it right, but really, at the core of it, I don't care about all that. I can barely, get through the purge movies, and it's all like, oh, it's the same thing. All right, it's cool, whatever. They're making another one next year, I think, in 2018, and just if they do it right, sure, it could be sort of interesting, but really to go against all the stuff that's happening now, even the trailers that we're going to talk about soon for TV shows, like I'm not going to watch it. No. I'm not going to be a loyal fan.
Nope. I just can't see myself really caring about it.
If you lived in the world of the Purge.
Yeah.
You first. Oh.
What? Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't you devote most of your resources during the year, though, to fortifying your residence?
Oh, that, you know what? That's a totally different approach than I would have. I would spend my year planning out who I'm going to kill and how I'm going to rob everyone.
Yeah, so, but this is my point. Like,
you make more sense.
I think the majority of the country would spend their resources fortifying their residence, and I think that you'd call into sick to work the day before. There wouldn't be any of this, oh, I'm rushing to make it home by the time the purge starts. Right. No, screw that. You would be in your house on lockdown 6 hours prior. At the worst, So, I mean, year after year, I think this would just become less and less of a thing. I just don't understand why people wouldn't devote most of their extra resources to making sure that they're prepared for Purge Day. It just seems silly to me. But
yeah, the only problem I've really ever had with Purge is I think the longer it goes on, the more you're going to have the rich killing the marauders, and then eventually Purge Day is just going to be like white collar crime. And nobody
like Donald Trump killing everybody?
Yeah, like nobody wants... Yeah. But he can do that anyway. He could walk out on the street and kill someone. No one would say a word.
I know. Fire anybody.
In his mind. So, but anyway, I really just think that it's just... It becomes a boring world eventually, but they're doing that in the TV show, so maybe that's what people want.
Maybe. I haven't seen the numbers for the Purge movies, so, I mean, who's watching them really? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
Who knows? Not me.
Another Game of Thrones spin-off announced. 5 Game of Thrones spin-offs, and I think they got titles too. And are y'all in it? Are y'all still in this Game of Thrones fandom? Is this still a thing y'all are interested in? Are you interested in the spin-offs that they're gonna have with George R.R. Martin a part of some of them? No,
I'm very interested in Game of Thrones, and one day I'll probably watch it.
You know what? I do watch it, and I kind of feel the same way. Like, I watch it every week when it's on, the night that it's on. My wife and I, it's an event, and I love it. I think it's visually spectacular. But by that same token, I feel like this is the same thing that movie studios are trying to do, where they're trying too hard to create too much to dominate the market. Give me one spinoff. Give me a spinoff that I can care about, and then we'll talk.
Mm-hmm. And make that one good. I mean, it feels like they're spreading it too thin, and they're gonna overcrowd everybody with Game of Thrones content, and it's just gonna be like, actually, no, I don't want this. Thank you though. Thanks for all these other series, but no, I'm okay.
Right? It's the whole LeBron James thing. We're gonna do spinoffs. We're not 1, not 2, not 3. We're gonna do 5 spinoffs. Like, no, dude, just do 1 spinoff. Win your first championship first. Have some success. And then worry about 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So, yeah, I'm totally in agreement with you, Kev. There's no reason to say I'm going to do 5 spinoffs. Hey, we got this spinoff idea. You guys should tune in. And then when the ratings are dynamite, go, hey, we're going to, feed you guys what you've been asking for, more spinoffs,
Yeah.
Get people to be invested, get there to be a demand for it first, and then deliver, because people will be happy because they're being delivered what they want, not being fed something they don't even really sure that they need.
Yeah, even if you do like what they did on the DC CW shows, where every show has an episode that acts as a backdoor pilot for the other shows, like they did with Arrow and The Flash.
Brilliant.
I'm fine with that. Like, give me a Game of Thrones spin-off story vignette in Game of Thrones, or tell me you're doing 1 spin-off and then do that with the spin-off. In that, give me someone telling a story about how their ancestor blah blah blah, and then if that goes well and people like that, then give me that. And if it doesn't, don't do that.
Yeah. Speaking of Arrow, Green Arrow, and The Flash, Charlie Hunnam as the Green Arrow? Would he be better as the Green Arrow? I'm not really watching it. I think Kevin, you said you watched it for a while.
Yeah, I've stopped this season, but once it comes out on Netflix, I will catch up. I mean, is there anybody else that they're considering? Are they looking at Green Arrow? Are they bringing Green Arrow in, or is this just him dreaming and wishing?
I think this is Charlie Hunnam saying this is something he wants to do.
Good. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, my answer is always yes if it's Charlie Hunnam. So there you go. I haven't seen King Arthur yet.
Tim?
No.
But no one has seen King Arthur, Tim.
Oh man, yeah, I didn't put that down, but
no, I know. I'm going to see it. I promise you. I'm going to be one of the few. So I mean, this doesn't bode well for his future success as a leading man in movies. So who knows if this Green Arrow thing will happen, because Pacific Rim wasn't exactly a box office smash either. So there seems to be something with him in leading roles that doesn't resonate with people. But I'm sorry, if you're a Sons of Anarchy fan, I'll watch Charlie Hunnam in anything. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think mainly it's just he's choosing the wrong movies, and they do have a lot of appeal at the beginning, and there was a lot of promotion for that King Arthur movie, and it was kind of surprising.
Yep.
And again, it's Guy Ritchie. I enjoy Guy Ritchie. Jude Law. I enjoy Jude Law. I mean, so it's good director, good cast. I mean, this should work. And I'm not rendering an opinion on if it works or doesn't work based on, the box office success. So I'm not saying it didn't work, but I just can't believe that people didn't show up to see it. I mean, I think the timing partially was off too. I mean, they pushed this movie back a bunch of times, which obviously doesn't say great things about it to begin with, so it might not be good. But to launch it into, week 2 or week 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy now?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. To be inside the launch window for Guardians of the Galaxy was a bad idea, Because I think the people who are going to see it are probably a similar demographic. And I would still see Guardians of the Galaxy a second time before I saw this King Arthur movie, even though I'm one of the apparently few people who is excited about the King Arthur movie. Guardians is just that good.
No, I mean, that's a great point. Like, how often do normal people go to the movies? Is it once a month? Is it once every 2 months? If you're going to go to the movies and that's a special trip for you, you're going to go see Guardians over this.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So to be in that launch window is a bad idea. If it was a romantic comedy, it's a different story because it's a different, market. So launch. Because I think one of the movies that beat them that they were surprised by was the romantic comedy that came out last week. I forget who's in it, but it's some romantic comedy. It's like, it was number 2 at the box office and it beat King Arthur. Shocker. The people who are going to see King Arthur are going to see Guardians of the Galaxy instead, and the people who aren't going to see either of those are going to a romantic comedy. So perfect time to launch that movie. It was bad planning, I think, from the beginning. But I'm still, like I said, I'm not going to render an opinion on the quality of the movie until I see it, because box office success doesn't mean it's a good or bad movie.
Right.
Yep.
But Charlie Hunnam, he's in it, so I'm going to see it.
Nice.
Charlie Hunnam, one of Tim's top 10 whatever that he has with his wife.
Tim said he would never say no to Charlie Hunnam.
I did say that.
Get that on a shirt too, Will. Please. Thanks.
It's not exactly what I meant, but if you want to print it on a t-shirt and people will buy it, let's play with it.
Done.
Fine. So there was a ton of this whole week, there was just a ton of new shows popping up that they announced, canceled TV shows, canceled some favorites, some Bad Blood. I think Tim posted some articles on Facebook as well about some Tim Allen. There was one a whole thing with Tim Allen, whatever.
This is spoof. My post on New Girl was a spoof because they actually are bringing back New Girl for 8 episodes, which I have all kinds of thoughts on that. But the thing is, this Tim Allen TV show, which I've never watched, by the way. I have zero opinion on it. It could have been a fine television show. But there's this thing out there on Facebook that because Tim Allen is a Republican, a vocal Republican, and I guess because his TV show has conservative values, which I'm all for. I'm all for family values. That's core to who I am. So if a show's promoting family values, I support it. But this idea that ABC canceled Last Man Still Standing on the Earth because he's a Republican is ludicrous. Because all the headlines on these Republican websites are, despite high ratings, conservative show is canceled. Well, New Girl is the highest rated live comedy on Fox since 2011 every year, and it was going to be canceled. The showrunners pitched an idea for an 8-episode kind of tie-up that last minute got it renewed for 8 episodes, but they were going to cancel it. And New Girl specifically had an episode last year about shilling for Hillary Clinton. So it is a liberal TV show. That's just my whole thing with that. Like, it got canceled because it got canceled. Okay, let's not try and politicize it. Please don't try and politicize it.
No, but you're right.
About
it's
ratings
funny.
and money and marketing, and that's it. Boom, done.
I mean, that gets headlines. That gets us talking about it. We're talking about it right now. So I mean, it worked. I guess they're trying to get their article out there by putting all these politics into New Girl and Tim Allen. Okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, how long was that show going on? Like 5 or 6 years, I think I read. Totally forgot Tim Allen existed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I know. Seriously.
But New Girl's a great TV show, by the way. Everybody should watch that. I told Kevin it was a great TV show. He didn't believe me.
Nope.
Started watching it. Now he agrees.
I apologized. I walked up and apologized to Tim for giving him shit for watching New Girl, and I actually really enjoy watching it with my wife now.
Yeah. And I had mixed feelings because the way it ended, I thought would have been, if they had the guts to end it there, would have been the greatest. I have no issue saying this. The greatest sitcom television show ending ever.
Yeah.
But they've decided to come back for 8 episodes. They're going to jump 3 years into the future. They're just trying to appease fans and kind of like tie up loose ends and stuff.
Fan service,
Yeah, I have mixed feelings because the way it ended, 2 of the main characters kissed on an elevator, and then that was it. And they were the kind of the 2 that were going back and forth, the Ross and Rachel thing, Ted and Robin thing. And I love that because I wanted them to be together. I just didn't like it when I saw it the first time, so I didn't want to watch them be together.
Right.
So what they're doing is they're fast forwarding 3 years. Presumably they're still together. Hopefully their relationship's on solid ground, so it won't be awkward to watch. But we get to see a baby that's supposed to be born become a toddler. We're going to hopefully see another wedding. Like, there's some cool storylines they get to play with. So maybe jumping 3 years ahead skips over all of the Nick and Jess crap that I didn't really like so much the first time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if the thought of them getting together and you watching it is the Star Wars prequels, because the thought of Darth Vader and the fight at the end is better than the actuality of it, then I hope that this is the jump ahead to the new Star Wars movies. I'm in.
Yeah, and there's just a whole slew of new shows that they announced, Fox and all those television whatever. I don't know.
I specifically don't care about any of them.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Oh, Powerless finally got canceled. I mean, they kind of canceled it, but it's like official.
It was a good show, but they failed that show. I mean, really, that was their own fault.
We talked about that.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to skip to the 2 TV shows that I liked from the trailer, Orville and The Gifted. Orville with oh man, please go watch that trailer. It's really good with Seth MacFarlane, Jon Favreau. It's great. I mean, whatever. It's going to be a great show.
It is going to be a great show. That is hold on. One of my favorite movies a couple of years ago was, and this involves Tim Allen, was that stupid space thing. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
That
cool.
is a spectacular movie. And this is a spiritual sequel to that. This is the same vein of like wacky, weird, bullshit comedy, real world stuff. And I am 100% on board with this. This looked spectacular. Production value was up. You got Norm Macdonald playing some sort of slime creature. You've got Raj's dad from Big Bang Theory in the background of the ship. You got Seth MacFarlane, who I hate, but I think he's going to be amazing in this.
You're going with Raj's dad and not Babu from Seinfeld?
Listen, I am so far removed from Seinfeld right now. I can't.
Babu,
I can't.
Come here. This is great. This is delicious. But why not a cuisine from your home country? Oh, you told me to make Pakistani. I make Pakistani. No one come. I take all my money. I close down. I make all restaurant Pakistani because you say make Pakistani. And then no one come. Jerry Seinfeld. Sorry.
But yeah, no, honestly, like I think that this is going to be great. I think that this is what we need. We don't need another Star Trek. We don't need Star Trek Discovery. We need this. We need comedy. We need something fresh and different. And I think that this is really going to work for me. I hope it works for everybody else. And I hope that, is this Fox that's doing this? Because I hope that they give it a full run.
Fox did Orville and The Gifted, so Fox is coming hard with I think some good content. And I like Seth MacFarlane, sort of. I like his voice. He's a fantastic singer. He put out some albums that are really good jazz stuff. And I think he just got burnt out a little bit with all of his shows that he tried to whatever and do so much. And I don't know. His comedy got kind of stale for a while, and some of his shows need to already, wrap it up. But I think this is a fresh way to bring him back in, to get him in front as a front man or whatever, and see what he can do doing all that stuff in space. And it looks pretty interesting. Tim, why don't you think it's going to be the best thing ever?
Well, so here, just to talk about Seth MacFarlane for a second, guy's super hit or miss. His comedy is so kind of niche and different and weird that it's either right on and works 100% or it's terrible. There's really not much in between, and you know this from his, cartoons and TV shows and stuff like that. Like Ted. Ted was hilarious.
Ted was
such
hilarious.
A funny movie. Especially if you grew up here where we did. Oh my gosh, it's
I'm
so
sure,
funny.
Yeah.
Ted 2, when I went and saw Ted 2, I wrote on Facebook afterward, I said, if they could have just cut the runtime down a bit from an hour and 40 minutes to 15, I might have laughed most of the time. I mean, there was about 7 minutes of laughter in Ted 2. It was pretty awful. And then, you got something like, was it 7 Ways to Die in the West?
Yeah.
As a movie?
Yeah.
A Million Ways to Die
in the West.
I actually really liked that one.
I liked
thought
it.
that one was funny.
I think the best part of it was Neil Patrick Harris, but I liked the movie.
Of course. Yeah. So, I mean, he cast well. I think part of it is the casting is to get the right people in it. So, I'm not on board or off board with Seth MacFarlane. I'm always open. So when I saw this, I'm like, this is interesting. I kind of like this. Okay, the concept's cool. I'm seeing a couple actors I like. And then I see Jon Favreau. We've talked about my feelings on Jon Favreau. I think he's absolutely brilliant. One of the most brilliant directors we have out there right now. And I will watch any movie that Jon Favreau directs. But then I realize it's not a movie. It's a TV show.
It's a
and
long
Jon
movie.
Favreau directs one episode. And I'm a little bit less enthused about it because I like the idea as a movie. I like this idea, this concept to watch for an hour and 45 minutes to see Jon Favreau's vision for Seth MacFarlane's idea. But I don't want to watch this. I don't think. I'm going to give it a shot, but I don't think I want to watch this week after week where it's mostly Seth MacFarlane run. Because this is his thing. He's the writer. He's the director of a couple of episodes.
You have Adrienne Palicki that's going to be offsetting him, which is a good move. She's been, Mockingbird in the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that nobody watched. And she was the girlfriend in the first season and then later in Supernatural. And she was almost Wonder Woman. Hashtag Adrienne Palicki is my Wonder Woman. And I think that she will offset. I think she'll tone him down. I think she'll keep that an interesting show. And
it's not the acting that I'm worried about from Seth MacFarlane. No. He's the sole writer on this.
Yeah,
but the sole writing credit, and he's directing several episodes.
I think he's going to tone himself down to fit her in because they're going to want to keep her as an actress happy. And I think that's going to work. I think it's a great dynamic.
It's either going to be insanely awesome or terrible. That's just how I feel about it right now.
Yeah.
If it was a movie, my prediction would have been awesome. If it's a TV show, I can't decide. It's going to be one or the other, but it's not going to be in between.
We have like 37 seasons of Star Trek to make fun of. They've got a lot of source material they can easily work with on this because Star Trek makes fun of itself without intentionally doing that most of the time, which is why I think we don't need another series in Discovery. We don't need another prequel series. We know how they're going to end. Everyone's fine. Where with this, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen. Anything is possible.
So, we haven't done this. So the trailer for the show, thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think?
Thumbs up.
I'm thinking thumbs up.
And when I was just Googling this, I also saw the trailer for a show called Ghosted coming to Fox. And so I lied to you. I care about this. This is Craig Robinson and Adam Scott. I'm going to have to watch more of this trailer because I just watched it while Tim was talking because I knew I could tune him out. But yeah, this looks spectacular. I guess I'm excited for TV again. So,
yeah,
networks fighting against the streaming people,
right? And they're doing it pretty hard. The gift.
Oh yeah, by the way, so I'm giving the fist again.
Okay.
Because I can't decide. It's going to be great
Thumbs
or
up,
terrible.
fist,
I can't render an opinion. I'm fisting.
Spider-Man. Those are the 3 options.
Okay.
The Gifted trailer, me and Tim made the mistake of checking out Gifted, which is another trailer, and we saw Captain America just show up, and I was like, okay. I watched it for like a minute, I think, and I was like,
I actually saw Gifted, so I didn't watch the trailer. I just assumed because I actually saw that movie. I'm like, no, that's not what they're talking about.
Huh, that's interesting. Okay, what's going on here? I thought this was X-Men, but whatever. He's jumping ship. The Gifted trailer. What do y'all think? I think I don't know. It looks pretty cool enough. I think it's good for a TV show, I guess. I don't know if I care yet.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't watched the trailer. I accidentally watched Gifted.
We'll review that one,
which was a good movie, by the way.
Okay, you know what? We'll do that really in a future episode. But so this is the X-Men Fox Run spin-off TV show, and Marvel is also doing on Freeform Runaways, which is a similar premise. It's kids with mutant powers that have to hide. Mm-hmm. I realize in Runaways, for anybody that knows, it's children of supervillains or something along those lines. I'm not sure what they're getting into in this TV show, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like Fox's interpretation of the X-Men and how none of it fits together.
Or where it should fit. Because they did say something about the X-Men in the trailer. They're like, I don't even know if they're still around or whatever. So is this taking place in some future area?
And that's exactly it. I don't want to spend the whole time I'm watching this series sitting there wondering whether we're going to see an X-Men or if they're the same or if we're getting like I just can't do it.
Guys, I have 2 words for you. And that is literally all I'm going to say. Bryan Singer.
Yep. Okay. Moving on. So, what else is that all we wanted to talk about this week for nerdy news, or you got anything?
Oh, did you guys actually watch the trailer for The House?
Yes. Yeah. That came out in February, though, right?
I don't know why it just came on my. I was watching the trailer for Orville, and it popped up after. So that's why.
I mean, that's another one where it's Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler. Yeah. I'm in no matter what. I watched that trailer when it first came out, and I'm gonna go see the movie.
I'm psyched because just the scenes that they've shown, it looks more like Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
It's more that character. So I think we talked about, obviously, at length about this, but I think this might be going back to his sweet spot. I don't think he's going to be the over-the-top lead in this. He's going to be the straight guy to Amy Poehler and Jason Mantzoukas. Crazy. That's what I think. Jason Mantzoukas is, if you don't watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, one of the best several episode guest appearances I've seen in years. He was awesome.
Very much so. Very much so.
But yeah, I think if Will Ferrell can play the straight guy, turns a little crazy against Amy Poehler and Jason Mantzoukas, I think we've got a hit. I think this could be back to Will Ferrell's heyday kind of thing with this. So,
yep.
Excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, it looks super good. I think we're good for nerdy news. Just another article, I guess. They're making a Legend of Zelda app. I'm pretty excited. And I'm interested how that is going to be where, if you're going to be paying like upfront, or you're going to pay a little later, or because, Legend of Zelda is big enough to where, you're going to pay for it. I mean, they made a Mario app and that played well, I guess, for a little while. I mean, I didn't really pay for it because, they had some levels and then you had to pay for it afterwards. But
this I read the article. I think they're basing this on like an Animal Crossing type thing, and I'm sure this will be a free download, microtransactions like Pokemon. They're going to make $1 billion that way.
I don't think that Nintendo has officially said anything about what the concept for the game is. So I think that Animal Crossing thing, I'm pretty sure, is speculation.
Speculation.
So Zelda's my number one everything. I'm excited about it. I'm curious to see what they do, the format of the game. I don't want some what was that farming game that everybody played on Facebook?
Oh, Farmville.
I don't want
there's a billion.
Yeah, I don't want something like that where I'm like building a universe, or Animal Crossing. I don't really want that. I would love it if this was just a straight up like top down, Zelda. A la Link to the Past or a Link Between Worlds that they just did for 3DS. I would love it if they just made that game for mobile, because I think that actually translates really well to that platform with a couple of extra RPG elements possibly. So I'd love it if they did that. I would pay up front for it. So I'm interested. Very interested.
I don't even know if I liked fully the whole Mario game. It was just straight Mario just running across. It's kind of like Flappy Bird, and it was just kind of a thing. It's like, oh, it's cool. It looks really good. It looks nice and all that, but I don't know if I want to play it. I played the Rick and Morty Pocket Mortys more than I played that Mario game. Pocket Mortys is another app. It's super fun. It's playing off the whole how many Mortys are in the entirety of the universes and all that, and it's something like Pokemon, and you battle your Mortys, and it's super funny. So I think that was more interesting than the Mario thing. But
no,
we'll see.
If they were smart, I think they'd do a Zelda Pokemon Go crossover where it's that augmented reality, like you can walk around the real world and then find dungeons and beat the dungeons like that. I'd play. That Kevin, I think would be really awesome.
Fantastic idea.
I think a game like that. Yeah, if you had some form of like offline play where you don't have to walk around, and then you added in the walk around, find dungeons, find monsters, think of how much money they'd make with that.
Dude, pitch that to Nintendo. Find a way. That's a great. Honestly, that's a great idea.
Through the podcast, we already just talked about it. It's gonna be everywhere tomorrow.
Nintendo,
now it's on record.
Listen, this is the idea. Okay.
This is just for you, Nintendo. Everybody else, get out of here.
This is just me Nintendo. And you now, baby. Just listen to the idea.
Hey, baby.
Kevin's got the idea. The idea is this. Own the idea. Take the idea. Love it. Caress it. Bring it to life for me.
And then pay us. Yeah,
sure. Definitely.
Yeah, cool. Let's get into some questions, I think.
All right.
We're good.
Main topic. When Jules suggested, or was it Jules? No, it was Tim. Tim suggested that we take questions from fans. I was not expecting a lot of response. And so we're going to scrap the fight idea and bring that back in the future when we need it, because we got some nice questions to answer.
Well, we got some questions.
I don't know if they're all good. We got a lot of questions. Yeah, we got a lot.
We got some topics to go over.
This is where the part of the episode where I just piss everybody off. I apologize in advance, guys. Love you all, but okay.
Yeah, if you haven't listened before, all you new listeners from the last episode, or you're listening right now, Tim's that grumpy guy that you don't really like, but you're like, he's kind of funny. I'll listen to him. I'm just gonna answer this one because we haven't talked about Doctor Who in a while, and I don't even know if you like Doctor Who or not. But
I have zero opinion.
Okay, cool. At Furious Fury on Instagram said, are you guys keeping up with a new season of Doctor Who? If so, thoughts on this week's major stir-up, and thoughts on Karen Gillan attending Alamo City Comic-Con, which was, I think, directed towards me because I am here in San Antonio. I'm a little bit behind on Doctor Who, and I really like the dynamic between Bill and the Doctor. I think, that whole mentor-mentee kind of, just idea was missing, and it was all just kind of before with Past Companions was just like, oh, it might be a love interest or something might be going on, but it's definitely okay. Bill and the Doctor, she's learning from him, and it's apparent, and it's really cool and really interesting, and she's a very different character and a person of color, and they address that, and she's a woman, and they address that as well, and that's super cool. But I am a little behind, and I don't know if anybody else has any other opinions.
No, I'm behind too. I've only seen the first episode of this season, but I think you're right. I think you've hit upon the sort of master-student, teacher-student dynamic, because the other Doctors since Tennant, it has been like a will they, won't they, and I don't think that with the format of the show it works as well as they were hoping, because you had that with Rose where he did wind up with her in some form or another. And they sort of tried to temper that with Donna, who was obsessed with him, and I don't know. I really think that this could work. I am excited for it. My TV watching has been screwed up recently with other stuff going on.
Yeah, sure. And I read the major spoiler. I read it. I'm not going to say it or whatever, and I think that's interesting. And it was announced as well that this would be Peter Capaldi's last season. You don't know when he's leaving or anything, but he said that he's done, and we're going to get a new Doctor sometime soon. So that new spoiler or whatever was really interesting, and I'm curious to how that plays out soon.
I'm fine replacing Capaldi, but I am worried with what we're going to get next if he was their choice.
Sure. And whole new major director for that. So story, screenwriter, whatever.
My only opinion on that is that Furious Fury is a great Instagram follower. Thank you for your support.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim. Oh, and Karen Gillan, I don't know. I might go to Comic-Con. I'll see if I have any money, but I'm actually saving to go to Harry Potter World. So
totally worth it, dude.
That's
nice.
Yeah, that's coming in. I'll probably do, I don't know, maybe a Facebook Live or something. Just me at Hogwarts in my robe or something.
You 100% should. It is. If you're a Harry Potter fan, one of the coolest things you'll ever do. I got engaged at Harry Potter World, so.
Special place. Yeah, nice. I actually just got my flight and stuff, so I'm leaving in later part of next month, June. So that's what I'm actually saving up for. So I don't know if I'm going to make Comic-Con, but sure. Do y'all want to pick a question? Go ahead and pick one, and we'll chat about it.
Tim, was there anything here?
You guys pick the questions.
That's fine. Actually, I do want to talk about the next question on the list here. HeyDownInFront_podcast on Instagram asked us to talk about some things that don't hold up from when you were younger to re-experience as an adult. And I actually have an opinion on this. Like I went and spent about $100 getting a Raspberry Pi and controllers and downloaded a bunch of stuff, emulators and video games. I was going to relive my Sega, Nintendo, Super Nintendo childhood that Super Nintendo I didn't get because my cousin had everything and we were poor. I didn't like it. It didn't hold up. The video games, all of that, like Tim's going to hate me. I've never played through the original Zelda all the way. And a lot of those games I just can't play. I get bored playing them,
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll disagree with that opinion. Well, that's not the question. He-Man is for me. So we talked about the He-Man movie potentially coming out, and I've said on record several times that I think it could be an amazing movie. But I was talking with my wife about He-Man as a result of her listening to the podcast, and I said, yeah, He-Man was, they built a toy to make a cartoon around, and when I was a kid I was obsessed with He-Man. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I think it's because I like the characters. But as an adult, when it came on Netflix, I went back and I watched it, and it sucked. Like, I like Voltron now, like even the originals, I like them. He-Man's awful cartoon, terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm just gonna say Power Rangers. Tim, I don't need any commentary on that. Anyways, the next I guess going along with that, Jenny M from the 90s TV Hour podcast, which is a pretty good podcast as well. What geekdoms can't you get into no matter how hard you try? And I was going to say for me is MMORPGs. I'm not too big about that. I mean, I tried WoW for a little bit. Destiny was probably the most, and the most time I spent in one of those worlds, and it was probably just because of the first person shooter aspect. Really, I don't know. I want to get into it, but I can't grind. I don't know. I just can't do it.
No, it's a lot of repetition. It really is. Yeah. You hit it right there with the grind. I spent too much time in WoW. It's a great place to hide from reality and responsibility.
I respect it.
I lost a friend
totally cool.
to WoW once.
I lost a friend because of WoW.
No, I literally lost a friend to WoW. Like, didn't talk to the guy for 2 or 3 years. What have you been doing, dude? Oh, World of Warcraft. Okay.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it is. I can understand why you wouldn't get into it, and you're lucky. You can lose so much time to it because you have this feeling that you have to keep doing it. Like, if you have free time, you have to be playing WoW, or you're going to be left behind, or you have to be playing Destiny, or you're going to be left behind. And they're right, you are.
I got this. It just came to my mind. This sort of NSFW story about that really quick. It's pretty funny.
God.
I was, so if you're playing this somewhere in a coffee house or something, put it down. I don't know why I said that.
I'm like 50-50. I might cut this out, Jules, but go ahead.
Sure, yeah. No, it's not that bad. I was gonna, me and a girl were hanging out, whatever, and we kind of just met, and we were doing a whole thing. And she was like, yeah, I really like you, whatever. And I was like, okay, let's go, like, do a thing. Like, yeah, like, whatever. You can imply whatever you want on that thing. And she was like, well, yeah, and it was all late. It was super late. And she was like, well, I actually got a raid that's going to happen soon. And I was like, what? Excuse me? I was like,
and you were like, yeah, panty raid.
So I was like, okay, no? What are you talking about? It's like, I'm in front of you. We're whatever. That's all.
This is one of my favorite stories ever.
Yeah. So Jules' staff of might was not enough loot for her. She had to go raid with her guild.
Exactly. I was like, whoa.
All right.
Do you know who I am?
Oh, I am definitely leaving that in.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That was one time in college. Okay. Tim, what's your geekdom you can't get into?
Well, I mean, we're going to give this another try on a future episode, but anime so far just can't do it, man.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
get it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah,
I can get into it some. You know, it does take time, and it's a taste. You know, you have to really know what you're doing to get into it.
I mean, there's certain things I don't get, but I really haven't tried. Like Doctor Who. I maybe it's because it's so daunting, but I've never tried to get into Doctor Who, so I don't really get the whole Doctor Who thing. But I've tried anime a little bit, you know? And, just not doing it for me.
Yeah. I mean, there's some daunting stuff about anime as well. There's just so many out there, and it's you don't know what you're looking for really, or how to look for it at the beginning. And actually, they said with this season of Doctor Who that's coming up right now, you can actually start from there, and they're making it a jumping off point. So it's
a great onboard point. Definitely, I think Tim, you should, if you want to give it a shot, you should definitely start the first episode this season.
We'll see how it goes.
And it's free on iTunes. If you want to watch
Nice.
Pick another question, Kevin.
All right. We talked about a little bit of this before the podcast started recording, but the game changer between VR and the Microsoft HoloLens.
Oh, jeez.
Seriously, I don't want to dig deep into this. I just kind of want to knock this off.
Who is that from? Derek G.
This is from Derek G. From the Wild Pitch podcast.
Pretty good podcast.
Yeah, I honestly, I got to tell you, I'm not. I don't think either of them is really going to be a huge game changer at the moment. I think the game itself needs to change before we get to a point where something like that's going to matter.
What I didn't mention in the nerdy news section was, I don't know if y'all have heard of this or whatever. Microsoft is launching 2 HoloLens. What are they called whenever you put them over their head? I don't know. Lenses, I guess. They're launching 2 of them.
VR glasses.
VR glasses for their whole Scorpio or whatever. They're launching those probably at the end of the year. So they are putting a lot of money into it and a lot of time. They're going to be from HP and then who else? Asus, I think. They're making 2 different versions of it.
Yeah.
And using that virtual reality sort of not virtual reality thing. And
dude, this question is ridiculous. Can I ask you guys a question? When was the last time you shopped for a TV?
When I had to, because my last one broke 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Mm-hmm. So you go into Best Buy, right? What's the big thing that they were marketing everywhere 6 years ago?
Oh, okay, never mind.
Plasma TVs.
Was it 3D compatible?
Oh, yeah.
That was the upsell. Yeah. You got to get the 3D TV. You got to get the 3D TV. You got to get the 3D TV. So, had to buy a TV.
That's still a thing now.
What's that?
I mean, that's still a thing now. I mean,
no,
I
it's
worked
not.
at Best Buy last year.
They don't make 3D TVs anymore. The new series of TVs, not 3D compatible.
Yeah.
Projectors.
The new Samsung one.
No, I'm telling you, dude. I just went to shop for TVs. Projectors, yes.
I just
TVs,
watched
no.
Sausage Party in 3D.
You might have one now, but I'm saying is this the latest iteration of TVs, all the new ones coming out. It's 4K.
Okay, the newest.
It's QOLED. It's OLED. It's that's what they're marketing. They are not even 3D compatible. It's because nobody wants to wear things on their face in their house.
No, you're right. People don't even want to go to 3D movies anymore.
So what makes anybody think they're gonna play VR, or anybody outside of like the super niche is gonna play VR? Like, this is ridiculous. If you're Oculus Rift, that's great, okay, because you are a small company that's trying to market to a niche group of people. But if you are Microsoft launching a gaming system that's trying to compete with the PlayStation 4 that trounced you last generation, your answer should not be put something on your head. Because we saw what happened when you did the Kinect and everything else. It was just a failure. People don't want that. They want a gaming system. They do not want a new wardrobe to play their damn game.
The stereotype of gamers is that they're pimply and awful and unshowered. So by all means, let's mat down their hair with a strap and put a ring around their face where pimples can grow because it doesn't get washed.
Good grief. This whole thing is just ridiculous.
All right. So I'm sorry I brought that up. All right. Real question then. And I believe this one is from, let's see, William W.W. Sinclair WW.
William, you're killing it, man.
Yeah, I love you, William. I think this is a great question. Political correctness in comics. Miles Morales as Spider-Man. Why is Marvel not creating an original hero with a diverse background? You know, you've got Spider-Man being changed in the comics or in the Ultimate Comics, wherever they started Miles Morales, from a white kid to a kid with a mixed ethnicity. Give him his own superhero. You know, give him something good. This is like what we were talking about when you're making video games into movies. Do it well and it will work. Do it poorly and it doesn't. And I feel like they half-ass this all the time.
Kind of what I was talking to Alex about this as well. Was like, how many new superheroes are they putting out now? How many new superheroes are Marvel doing? Or how many? Counter to that, how many recycled superheroes are they doing? They're doing a ton of recycled of the same superheroes, and they are rehashing it as, oh, this Latina or this so and so or whatever ethnicity or whatever, and they just keep rehashing what we loved before, and that's okay, cool, but how many actual new superheroes are they adding to their roster? I don't even know.
Hey, Peter Quill is mixed ethnicity.
Yeah. He's a white
celestial
chick and a planet.
Huh. Whoa, spoiler. Guardian spoiler.
Yeah, whatever.
Not a spoiler.
Rocket Raccoon, totally mixed ethnicity. I mean, we don't know what that guy's made out of.
Yeah, you're right. He's part raccoon from Earth and part, I don't know, they shoved some metal in his spine.
We are getting a Black Panther movie, though, right? Isn't that the name of the character, or am I being totally off?
We are, but I mean, this was like a 70s blaxploitation character where they created the Black Panther. They named him Black Panther because he's black. Like, we need something now. Like, they did it
but they're
a couple
making
years
him
ago
cool,
with Miss Marvel. They are making him cool, and that's great. And I think we need that and more. But we've got Miss Marvel, where they've made her a Muslim woman, which, again, more representation is great, but give us a unique hero. It doesn't have to be Captain Marvel. It can be someone new. Or Miss Marvel, I think it is. It doesn't have to be Miss Marvel. So
you're definitely for this new original hero has some new original storyline, new original.
Yeah, I love stories and do what they do and backdoor pilot it. Have him show up in a Spider-Man comic or in a Superman comic or whoever your flagship is. Make a new hero, try them out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, move on.
I mean, I'm not too much into comics or whatever, but do you think that's the same problem that these TV shows that we've been talking about have, that starting a entire new series and they're just not seeing the money or not enough ratings or whatever, and they're like, cancel it? Do you think that people that are writing the comics think that like, or they started it maybe some obscure time and they only released it for this whatever, and they're like, no, nobody's buying it, we're gonna stop it, and I really don't want to try that again. I don't want to try this. I think
we need to take the comic book industry, the TV industry, the movie industry. We need to take art like that and make it less about the money and more about the art. We need more people that are passionate and have money to put into this to produce shows that are going to be good. You need to take good actors, good writers, good directors, and have them produce something with someone with a vision, rather than try to produce something to an artificial metric that you're using where everything has to fit in 44 minutes and you have to have laughter every 7, and you gotta, you can't create the perfect show by looking at a spreadsheet. You have to have that passion.
It's art.
That's what we need more of.
But by definition, art is going to be hit or miss, so there's no
predicting. It is. And that's what I'm saying. There should be the ability to cancel shows. I'm not saying we shouldn't cancel shows, but a lot of shows that get canceled for the wrong reasons, and a lot of shows that continue for the wrong reasons.
So,
and a lot of shows that would have been good, like Powerless, would be good if they went with their original idea or with the passion idea that was pitched, rather than the one that got whittled away by the executives.
Right. Well, here's my thing on the whole minority comic character. Is we talked about this when people were clamoring for a female lead in a video game, or that they wanted to be linked to be a girl or a woman.
Yeah.
That's pandering. That's not progress. That's not doing what you're asking it to do. So don't make Spider-Man into a Latino, or don't make them African American or Muslim or whatever. Make a new character, make it a good new character that speaks about somebody's background. But here's the other part of it. I don't like putting what's the word I'm looking for, a quota on the ethnic background that needs to be in these TV shows and characters. I support the hiring of African American actors and Latino actors and Asian actors and things like that, but art comes from a place of personal storytelling, and you draw from your own personal experiences. So the people who are the creators need to have that in their background in order to write it correctly and effectively. So like if I were to write a book or a movie, like I just don't know that many African American people. I wouldn't be able to write that character. So I think what's more important is that not that we create characters of those ethnicities, that we need to get people of those ethnicities in creative roles so they can create from their own personal experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're 100% correct, but it's so tough for that to be the case. It's such a privilege to be able to get your voice out there.
I agree.
I advocate for it.
But I think we're looking at it backwards. I think the producers or the money-making people are saying we need to start hiring minority actors and get their faces out there. No, you need to be seeking out minority content creators to create authentic content about those people of those backgrounds. And then when that content exists, now you have something to hire for. So that's what's going to make it successful.
Have you watched Master of None with Aziz Ansari on Netflix?
Absolutely. It's awesome.
I love that show. Have you watched season 2? Just came out?
No, I haven't watched second season yet.
All right, so no spoilers, but I think this speaks to what you're talking about. So Aziz Ansari, one of the producers of this show as well, obviously is not white, and I love Tom Haverford. He's my favorite guy in the world. But he has other people that are acting in this that are Indian and black and all of these other non-white peoples. And really, that is the greatest thing. But some of these people, especially the Indians that play his cousins and whatnot, they are terrible actors and they are so funny. And I want to see more of them. And I think we need that.
It's great. I think that's awesome. I mean, it's like, does anybody get on Tyler Perry for making movies that are mostly African American? No, he should be. That's his world. That's his life. Yeah. That's what he draws upon. So I
get on him for dressing like an old woman. Well, right, nothing else.
But it's the content creators. We need to get more minorities in a position to create content. Seek out African American writers. Seek out Latino directors. Seek out Asian American, whatever your producers. Not just in technical, aspects. I mean, there's too much racism behind the scenes. It's not so much what's on the screen. It has to come from a place where these people are creating authentic content, and I think that's where they've got this whole idea backwards. Is my opinion.
Yeah.
No,
definitely
I'm with you.
Agree. That was all that. Just retweet it, put it on my page, whatever. That was awesome. Yeah, definitely. I never thought about it like that, and that's super cool. Another question by Will.
Shout out. Hey, Will.
We got like 8.
What's up, Will?
Yeah. Marvel's Cloak and Dagger trailer review. Why anyone but the biggest fanboys should care about this show. We don't. Okay, next question.
I don't even think the biggest fanboys should care about this show. So anyway, M. Night Shyamalan, a terrible or a victim of his own success?
Terrible.
Really?
I'm sorry. Nobody? You don't make a great movie and then all of a sudden you have to start repeating it. You're either good at it or you're not. It was a one-hit wonder. Yeah. That's like saying, some musician is a victim of his own success. No, you just made one good song and that's all you had in you, dude. There's nothing more to it.
Mm-hmm. Mainly what's his thing was that everybody's looking for a twist and then they ruin the movie in general. It's like, no, it's just not that great.
Right.
No,
not everything has to have that twist, and not every, like, honestly, I don't want to have to watch your movie twice to go, oh, now it makes sense.
I see dead people.
Yeah. Let's keep
Way
going
to
on this.
spoil it.
Right? Spoilers.
Oh,
Spoiler alert from this 14-year-old movie. It was the highest grossing movie of all time when it came out.
All right. Let's do one more. You got anything else that you found interesting from these questions,
No.
Jules?
Just one more. I think. When will animation get its due? Not as a genre, but as a storytelling medium. And why are studios so afraid that animation has its own Oscar?
They're not afraid. It's just not as good.
Animation's not as good, really.
No.
The art, everything. Yeah. When was the last animation that you watched?
I don't know, that thing, the Zootopia was on the other day on the TV.
I heard that's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's
all
right.
Really good movie.
Is it as good as Guardians of the Galaxy? No. I mean,
they're animated people. There's a raccoon.
What won Oscar for Best Picture last year? I can't remember.
Oh, Jesus, I don't know.
Well, it was Moonlight, but there was other movies that were vying for it that were like good movies. Zootopia's Arrival, really good movie. Hidden Figures, really good movie. La La Land, amazing movie. Manchester by the Sea, excellent movie. No, there wasn't an animation made last year that was as good as those movies. Not one. I'm not afraid to say it. They're not afraid of it. They're just not as good.
I mean, I kind of agree with you. I think that they could be as good if they were taken more seriously.
If they weren't animated and they were real.
Well, honestly, the blur between real and animated movies is blurring. Because you have like Groot and Rocket, who are completely CGI characters for the most part. So what is the difference between that and Zootopia, but a couple of more cycles through the render? I don't have a problem with that. I think that it's just art and refining the art. I think that it's passion and refining that passion. If you have an animated movie that is taken seriously by the people making it, that has a serious message, I think it could be a serious movie. But I think a lot of people look at animation as a cheap way to get something across. And so you have a lot of different things that sort of, they're chaff. They're just there to distract you. But not a lot of focus on good things.
So they write La La Land. Let's take that for an example, because I thought it was one of the best movies I've seen in years. So they write La La Land, right? And they say, how do I put my vision to screen? How do I get people to most, connect with this beautiful story that I have to tell? I'm going to animate it. That'll work. No, it's not gonna come across as well. It's the human interaction that they create is what makes you emotionally invested in it. They could have made La La Land into an incredible animated movie, but it would have been an incredible animated movie, not one of the best movies released in the last 4 or 5 years.
I mean, there is something for this because they are remaking the Disney animated classics into live action, but I'm putting air quotes around that because a lot of that's animated CGI.
Right.
Yeah.
But Beauty and the Beast was better as a live action movie.
It was different as a live action movie.
Yeah, better in my opinion.
Different. I mean, a lot of this. I'm going to take the Oscar away from this whole thing, but anime essentially is animation on screen or whatever, and there are a lot of storytelling, great animes that do it very well, and it is a medium that a lot of people love, and I'm definitely going to get y'all, hopefully, into some animes that are very story-driven, very interesting, and very great overall.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely getting its due there and not so much in the public eye, because in the public eye, whenever you see an animation, it's usually for kids or for a PG audience. But a lot of it is behind the scenes.
No, I'm going to have to give this some thought over the next week, and I want to come back next week with some examples of good animation that, if done, differently, slightly differently, would be much better and more worthy of this conversation. And
or a movie
I want to see if
would,
I can prove Tim wrong or if I have to eat crow.
Sure, or a movie that would be better animated. I don't know if that's a thing, but
yeah,
sure.
That's a great caveat. I'm going to give this some thought.
Yeah, when Ben Affleck decides he's going to direct a gritty animation movie because he thinks it's going to translate better to screen than Gone Girl or whatever, then talk to me when that happens.
Great. We will talk next week.
Okay.
We had a lot more suggestions, a lot more questions. That's super awesome. Thank you for the interaction and all that. Again, you can do that at Nerdy Things Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow us on all of those because they're all different. We post different stuff on all of them. There was some also really good topics that I thought would be better full episodes. So for me, what I think my suggestion for next week, I think, was what a lot of people are talking about, and Film Roast Show actually suggested it. Alien and the new Alien movie, because I think that comes out at the end of the week, correct? We can have a whole Alien, whatever.
Yeah, I'm behind that. I actually I bought the Alien trilogy on VHS when I was up in Canada, just so we'd have something to watch on the bus ride home from Canada. Nice. So I can get behind Alien.
Tim, is that cool?
I'm gonna have zero time to watch the new one or catch up on this.
Perfect.
So sure.
So we'll spoil it. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we do anything else, I just want to give a shout out to Annette from Canada, who is one of my wife's friends, who I found out listens to us, and I think that's phenomenal. And I also wanted to give a good thank you to The Bell Curve for letting me use their music behind the main topic segment.
Oh, cool.
Right on.
Awesome. I guess I'll hear that. I'll hear that soon. But also, thank you to Adipsia for the use of his song, Friends Don't Let Friends. Go to TGI Fridays. You can find him at adipsia.bandcamp.com. And he just released his album, The Stoic. Super good. Go listen to it. Fall asleep to it because it is beautiful.
The Stoic.
Awesome.
Every time. Every week.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. Later.